There is nothing sexier to me than when a man wears like a long sleeve or like a button up or something and cuffs it to just under the elbow. Drives me crazy. Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. You can use code Molly Burke for 10% off your purchase of a website or domain name. Let's address the elephant in the room. I am no longer engaged.
As you are stirring.
I'm making sure people are listening. Can you hear it? Are you listening? Okay, so if you watched my podcast interview that went up on Friday with Chan Plant, you might have noticed I talked about seeing an oral facial pain specialist. Oh my God, it's getting really hard to talk. Okay, and I'm starting my journey of TMJ treatment. I have extremely severe TMJ. I can do a whole separate video on it. I'm not gonna get into it because it's not what this is about. But today I did get my oral appliance. It is basically an orthotic for my mouth. I have to pretty much wear it 24/7, literally when I eat, when I sleep, when I talk, all of the time to retrain my jaw. And I just got it 3 hours ago. So my mouth is not used to it and I sound a little funny. So I'm very sorry about that. I'm hoping that I'll adjust to it. If I don't, and it's really painful for everybody to listen to, then I will take it out when I film, but I'm really trying to follow the doctor's orders. This is an expensive treatment. It is a lengthy treatment and it's kind of my only hope to get rid of all these symptoms I have. So I'm trying to be good and like keep it in 24/7 like they want me to, but worst case, I will just take it out if it's too painful for all of us to deal with for videos. So if I sound funny or if you notice a clear plastic chunky thing in my mouth, that's what it is. Let me know if you want me to make a whole video on that and I will. Anyways, now let's get into reacting to blind people describing what beauty is to them. And I'm very intrigued because I consider myself a hyper visual blind person. Part of this comes from the fact that I did grow up sighted and I always was very into visuals. The other thing is like I come from a family of artsy fartsy people. I come from a family of visual people. My mom went to school for graphic design and photography. My dad worked in advertising and marketing. My brother works in that field. Like I just come from very visual artsy people. And so I think I just have that gene in me. You guys know if you follow me, like I love makeup, I love fashion, I love home decor and tattoos and changing up my look even though I can't see it. Every restaurant I walk into or store, I want who I'm with to describe the environment to me. Does it make a difference? Yes, it does. It shouldn't, but it does. I want to know that I am surrounded by beauty even if I can't see it. I am also an advocate. That's a weird way to say it. I'm an advocate for the fact that blind people can be shallow. But there's this big misconception that like blind people are holier than thou and like never have preference on physical appearance when dating and things like that. And I like to try to dispel that. It plays a different role. It maybe plays a lesser role, but it's not obsolete. So I'm really intrigued to hear the line of questioning and to hear what other blind people have to say about this because, of course, we're not a monolith and different people will have different experiences and opinions, just like if we were all sighted and describing what beauty is to us. And, of course, if somebody's fully blind from birth, that's gonna totally change things. Before I go any further, I wanna thank the sponsor of today's video, Squarespace. I've been hosting my website, mollyburkeofficial.com, on Squarespace for as long as I can remember at this point, but this past year we did totally revamp it and give it a facelift, and we used one of their newest tools to help us. Design Intelligence uses cutting-edge AI to help you build a beautiful, bespoke online presence for your business or brand that fits your unique needs. All you have to do is answer a few quick questions and then it helps generate the website for you. Of course, you're able to tweak it from there, but it really makes it so simple and seamless. And once your website is up and running, you can start making money immediately by selling content. You can sell anything from courses, blogs, videos, or memberships. And then you can set up recurring revenue by putting up a paywall. Just set the price and then you choose whether you want a one-time payment or a subscription. Even if you don't make content, there are still ways to make money on Squarespace by turning any lead into paying clients using proposals, estimates, contracts, and even invoices all through your website. So if you're ready to get building your Squarespace website, head to squarespace.com/mollyburke to get 10% off your purchase of a website or domain name. without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, now I genuinely do not watch these videos before I react, so we're gonna do this together. This is like a genuine reaction. Let's go.
One of my friends was like, oh, well, you could totally date a fat girl because, it doesn't matter. And I'm like, well, I mean, I have to be attracted to someone.
Oh,
My
just
name is
music.
Mac.
Okay, it just had script on the screen that said we asked blind people to describe beauty.
I was born blind.
I'm Cindy, and I'm currently totally blind.
I was sighted most of my life, and in just the last 9 years, I've lived a blind life.
What does beauty mean to you? I think there's a perception amongst sighted people that blind people don't give a shit about what other people look like because we can't see them.
I think I'm pretty shallow, just like everyone else.
Do you think you're attractive?
People tell me all the time that I am, and I am thin, and I know that I have nice hair.
Pause. Okay, first off, love the candor, love the honesty. None of these blind people thus far are trying to play into the trope or the inspiration porn of it all and be like, no, I'm totally not vain. Like, they're all like, yeah, no, I'm shallow. So like, yes, love that. Thank you. Appreciate the honesty here. I think he said his name was Max, like answering this question of, do you think you're attractive? And I know how hard that question is for me to answer. I know that people tell me I'm pretty, but I can't see myself. So if I'm honest, like, I don't feel like I'm pretty. Like, I don't think that about myself. And I know that there are ways in which I fit beauty standards, but I can't see myself, and like, I equally know there's ways in which I don't fit beauty standards. And so for somebody to be like, do you think you're attractive? It's such a hard question to answer when you can't see yourself. And I like hear the exact struggle in him. It's like, well, people say I am, and I know XYZ about myself, but like, I can't confidently with my whole chest say that I, Molly Burke, think I am attractive, because I don't. Like, I genuinely have no idea. And the people who say I'm pretty, it doesn't mean they're being honest. And when I was growing up and when I could see myself, I did not think I was beautiful. I did not view myself as attractive. I was bullied. I did not fit the beauty standard at all at the time that I was growing up. I had really crooked yellow teeth and glasses, which nobody thought was cool back then. Now I'm like, slay, I love a cool glasses. Like, if I could have a wardrobe of cool, funky glasses, I would. But like, I was like really pale with all these freckles and dark hair, and like, I was short, and the beauty standard at the time and like the popular girls who bullied me were tall and tanned with dirty blonde hair and, nice teeth. And so when I could see myself, I didn't think I was pretty. It would be hard for me to answer that question.
Know what to compare it to if I could suddenly see myself in a mirror.
Appearance is very important, and I try to be very presentable.
I still live in the world that everyone else lives in, and I pick up on all the ways that we're shallow. And I'm okay with that, right? Like, I don't want to be some saintly person just because, like, blindness has turned me into a saint. Like, that's a lie.
Yes.
I guess other senses kick in. Just the tenderness, the smoothness, I guess you could say the shape.
It's little things. It's like a sound or a scent or, a touch, and it all builds into this generalized thing.
Sometimes I'll hold on to their elbow, like if we're walking together. And so you can sometimes tell from little things, or if you like kind of give a small hug at the end of the night.
There might be times where I might give someone a hug and be like, that feels like she might have a nice figure, but I'm not going to like feel her up because that's not appropriate.
Are you dating anyone right now?
I'm single.
Pause. So when it comes to knowing if somebody is attractive to me, a huge part of it like is personality. I would identify as demisexual. So for me, I am not interested in being physically intimate in any way, including kissing, if I am not emotionally and mentally attracted to you. So that is, for me personally, a huge aspect of being attracted to somebody. But it is not the only aspect. I have always been an arms girl. I love a good arm. My God, drives me crazy. Like, abs don't do it for me. I can't see them. And like, when am I touching your stomach? If you're my fiance, never, because he's so ticklish. But a good arm, like if I'm on a first date with you and you're, which I'll never be on a first date again, isn't that crazy? Anyways, and you're giving me sighted guide to the bathroom or something, like I can feel what you're working with. And there is nothing sexier to me than when a man wears like a long sleeve or like a button up or something and cuffs it to just under the elbow. Drives me crazy. I love that so much. And what I find interesting is like I'm 32 now. I started this channel at 20, and all through my early and mid 20s, I hated body hair and facial hair. Like I wanted like a slippery eel of a man. And I kind of felt like that would probably never change because I can't see people and I'm very like textural. But in my late 20s, early 30s, that totally changed. And like as you saw in my proposal video, my fiance has a full beard and everything, and I always tell him, I'm like, you never shave your face. Like that is your face to me. Your face must have a beard. And like, yeah, if you told 20-year-old Molly that, I wouldn't have believed you. And it's interesting how the things we find physically attractive as blind people can also change over time, even though we can't see still. As we grow up and mature, like it can still morph. And I find that really interesting. And other things that I find really attractive or equally can find very unattractive are what you smell like, which includes smelling too strong of a good thing. Like I love a perfume or a cologne on me or somebody else, but subtle. Like I have so many perfumes that I reach for all the time and they don't even have a dent in it because I barely spray, because I have such a strong sense of smell. So like if somebody smells too strongly of anything, even a good thing, that is a turnoff to me. And of course, the sound of their voice. That is a big thing for me to be attracted. What somebody's voice sounds like. I think my fiance sounds very like kind and safe and warm. And I find that very like comforting and attractive. And somebody's overall like presence. This is why I don't like really tall men or super broad like football shoulders, because for me that feels like a overwhelming presence. So like those are the type of things that I find attractive.
Your last partner, did you think they were beautiful?
Yes.
How do you know?
I think there are conversational cues, like you can pick up if someone like goes to the gym. Yeah, now a bunch of people are gonna tell me they go to the gym.
You like on a date with somebody, don't blind people just sit there and touch their face.
That's a Hollywood myth. Like actually feeling someone's face, that's a silly thing to do.
I would be very uncomfortable if someone touched my face.
So
I don't care if they're blind. I don't know where your hands have been, so that's gross.
How do you know your wife is physically attractive?
People tell me all the time, oh, wow, you got lucky. She's gorgeous. She's a looker. She's cute. She's a hot one.
I've had people influence me, like this person's super hot, or
Just from their reaction of like, oh, like he looks good or something like that, I was kind of like, okay, he's good. Like, I think I was not really super concerned at someone like describing individual features, but more the affirmation from my friends that someone was cute. Like, I want to be seen with attractive people.
It does make me feel more validated. Like, ooh, yeah, I'm making you jealous now. Obviously, you're looking at her like, oh, don't you wish she was yours? But no, she's mine.
I mean, I experienced in my partner, like I know how I think about, visualize, have a representation of her. I see that in my mind.
Pause. I think it's very interesting how many people feel the need to like tell us as blind individuals that they find our partner attractive. It's just like very funny. It's like they want to make sure we know. The other thing that I find interesting is the way in which people act like that might be surprising to them. Like, it's shocking that an attractive person who could, quote, get anyone would want to pick a disabled person. And like I talked about that in, not that exactly, but like in my video that I recently posted about my side of the engagement story, I said how much I felt throughout the years in my life, like if my partner could pick a non-disabled person, why would they pick me? So I understand where that kind of like ableism comes from, because I've dealt with a lot of that internalized ableism, and if I'm being honest, I'm engaged and I still sometimes feel that way. I still have that insecurity. And it's not that my partner gives me a reason to feel that. It's that the world has reinforced that over and over and over again. And it's in those little remarks that you hear, that surprise from people that your partner isn't also disabled, or that they're actually attractive. And like those little things that make you be like, oh, like I'm not deserving of that. That's why they're surprised. And you internalize that. And it's really, really hard to overcome that.
It's kind of like when you know something, and for me, like I experience things through touch and through, like I was saying, like sensation and stuff.
One of the first intimate things I did with her was take her hand, and I liked how it, fit with mine.
I don't look at it as visual beauty. I receive it as what they project to me, their heart.
I don't think vision really plays that big of a role in beauty. I think it's the whole experience.
Okay, I'm obsessed. I enjoyed that video so much. I felt like they were all being really authentic. I resonated with a lot of what they said, and that's why representation matters so much. That's why for me, having other blind and disabled friends matters so much, because I live in a world where the majority of people around me in my everyday life don't live the same existence as me. And when I get to like have a moment with my blind friends and connect on these things and have these conversations, it feels so validating. But not everybody gets to have in real life blind friends. And to have content like this that exists on the internet is so important for us to be able to see ourselves and feel that validation, and equally to educate non-disabled people. Wow, my neighbor has never done this before. She's like going hard with the vacuum, it sounds like. Good thing the video's over, and hopefully this mic is very directional. So that's my cue to shut up and stop talking. Let me know if there's any videos you want me to react to in the future. Should I react to this video that my partner said is on the sidebar of sighted people in the dark exploring whether they're gonna hook up with someone without seeing them? I don't know. Sounds kind of like a wild reality TV show. Let me know. And until next time, if you enjoy reaction videos, you can click over here to see this one of me reacting to conjoined twins, or you can click over here if you did not hear my side, or you can click over here if you did not see my podcast interview with Chan Plant, who lost her eye after having 2 strokes in her early 20s. It's a crazy story. Check it out. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.